Ladies and gentlemen, you might have heard a little bit about this, but if you're sending packages to the United States from outside the United States, there's a lot going on with it. This package is one that I send to my Patreon supporters every month. It's not clear, but the post office warned me. And I said, okay, now this is big news, so I'm gonna have to make sure that you guys get the warning too. A lot of you probably wondering because just recently in the news, they've talked about this in detail. Europe is suspending parcel shipments to the United States, like all parcel shipments, it seems. It's unclear. France is suspending, Australia is suspending, even, I guess that's China, Taiwan is suspending, some other places here. So this is just in the news here. It's DHL is suspending packages. So what's going on? Are we gonna be able to send this stuff to my viewers? Like this box right here, which is supposed to go out to the post office in 5 minutes? Yes, it's okay. All right, this came out from the Japan Post, I think today. And it's kind of telling. They warned me when I sent packages 5 days ago, and then this came out today. And I'm gonna bring this out. You can see the date is the 25th of August. The US government issued an executive order, terminus of de minimis, it's Latin there, treatment of all countries regarding mail to the United States. Hold on a second, it's getting there. I hope you guys can hear okay. Under this executive order, starting on the 29th of August, mail containing goods imported for personal use will no longer be eligible for duty-free treatment. Tariffs will be imposed on the 15th of 2025. The U.S. and Customs Border Protection announced new guidelines regarding the elimination of the de minimis rule, which is if you have a certain amount, you get it for free in here. Requires that transport operators pay duties on certain things. Therefore, starting the 27th, which is tomorrow here in Japan, in line with other, or is it the day after tomorrow? National postal operators will temporarily suspend, this is from Japan Post, the acceptance of postal items. Now this is where things are okay for me here, and you, for most people. Individual gifts for the content value exceeding $100 are okay, are not okay. So if it's under $100, it's okay. I can give you the thumbs up here on the side. Goods intended for sale for consumption, meaning like, I guess food or gifts, okay. In addition, we'll continue to accept letters, postcards, thank goodness, because the postcard club, I got hundreds of people in that, and containing gifts to individuals with the value less than $100 is okay. So that makes it a little bit easier on a lot of people. $100 is the magic number, so in the customs forms, I'm a pretty honest guy. I'll just make sure that the contents of the boxes are under $100 and be real honest about it. America's not the only one that collects duty on packages coming in. Europe is one of the worst in doing this. When I send packages to Germany and in particular Austria, poor Peter in Vienna, I love Peter so much, great guy. He's had his packages like absconded, is that a word? Taken from the post office and requested to come in to pay duties on a gift that was just like $30 or less of stuff that was in the box. And he's got to pay like €3 on it, which is ridiculous. Europe is worse than America. Just to let it's many countries in Europe are worse than America with the duties and stuff. So anyone who wants to blame the US for this, I get it, but this is just growing pains. It's growing pains. So if you're buying figures or items that are more than $100, I would say hold off for right now from Japan, from anywhere in the world, to be honest with you. As things get, yeah, Illuminat's right in here. Germany and Austria are crazy. Yeah, it's true. Me and Peter have had many back and forths. He's in the Daimyo tier on Patreon. This is one of the Daimyo tier boxes. I fill this up with regional goods. Try to support local businesses outside. And there's Kit Kats and weird flavored chocolates and things like that as well in there. But it's been challenging over the last 5 years through the pandemic and now through this to find out what's going on. Now, the Japan Post Office, the reason why that they issued this statement and they're going to be suspending mail in general is just because they just don't know what's going on yet. There's a lot of growing pains. It's not entirely, it's a lot of chaos, which is somewhat expected. But I didn't expect like DHL is to completely stop packages to the US. That's gonna hurt their business as well. Now, they told me that they weren't sure a couple of days ago. I went there today and they said if the package is a gift valued under $100, it's okay, it can go through. If it's business to individual and there's an invoice involved, that's different. There might be taxes involved. They're not quite sure. They said to hold off on that kind of a deal. Mine is a gift because of people supporting me. It doesn't really have any monetary value on it, but I do put the price of the contents in there on the list, but it's marked as a gift, so it goes through okay. So it's like sending it to family. It is. So this is all you need to know from that. The 27th, in line with other national postal operators, we will temporarily suspend the acceptance of postal items, small packets, parcels, EMS to the United States that contain the following: anything over $100 exceeded in value. So you could mark it under that, but they might open it up and say, that's crap, we're gonna tax you anyways. Or goods intended for sale for consumption. So these two things are gonna be, Japan Post won't even accept them. So it's good for you to know this kind of stuff here if you're ordering things. But if you're sending stuff home to yourself and you've already purchased it, the value of the goods, I don't know what it really is. I guess you could put in what you said, just mark it $99. I'd mark it like, yeah. I don't think that lying on the forms is a good idea. You just get in trouble. As I talked about, lying in general never gets you. There's times where you can lie. Lying in general doesn't usually get you in more trouble. If you're marking $99 on a $1,000 item, I think that that's really bad. But if it's like $110, you might be able to get away with it. Shipments to trunks are okay, right? Sean, I see you've changed your number, your handle name, but yes, you'll be fine. Just as long as we get some bullet holes in there so you get some air in the trunk. I'm being serious. It's hot. It's hot in there. All in all, I think though that once the confusion is more understood, then things will start to settle down and they'll get into the process of collecting those duties. Hey, look, you know, Japan Post or US Post has been like bankrupt or in the red for decades. So I guess they need the money. I just hope that the money goes to them because those postal workers, they probably deserve a raise. I gotta be honest with you. The postal workers, the staff has gone down and the responsibilities have gone up. So stress is really high. Postal workers, they don't get compensated enough, in my opinion. I love the guys at the Japan Post Office and everywhere around the world. They're usually working pretty hard for a civil service job, but if you're ordering from international, like Amazon.co.jp, you're gonna get taxed. You're gonna get tariffed on anything over a certain amount. And we don't even know how this is gonna work yet. Do they send you a notice in the mail for you to pay by QR code and then they send this stuff to you? Or do they come to the door looking for cash? I'm not quite sure. In Japan, they have people who will come and collect the cash. They have it, I've had it in multiple ways where I had to pay in advance and I've had to accept the cash. So one operator, I think they paid it for me and said, please pay us back. I got my mochi from Dasai with Japan Post. Yeah, that's right. The Dasai, the Japanese sake maker, has sake-based mochi and confections too. I tried to get Sakurai-san, who's the CEO, to do an episode with me, but it's been complicated. Working with Dasai is a little bit harder. I wish it wasn't. But shipping from abroad is going to get me expensive. I had to raise the prices for my daimyo packages. That's the tier on my Patreon. I still kept the base tier, but I had to add in $20 for express delivery on EMS. And during the pandemic, we only had EMS for a while, so I was eating the costs. I think a lot of people are just going to eat the costs. So I would get less. I would pad in some support. You have to pad in some support when you send the packages, you know, for this, that's what it's for. But I padded in enough where I took a hit and I was getting like $10 or something a package because the shipping was really high plus the contents in there. So it's like $10, $20 a package. It's not that much, but it helps to keep the channel going, and I stay busy. See here, does this affect packages we send from U.S. military stations? I believe not. You want to check in on that, but I believe not. Anything sent from a U.S. post base is sent via U.S. carrier. It's like coming from the U.S. I believe it's basically a U.S. zip code. Anything sent from Guam to the U.S., I don't think is tariff because it's U.S. So my guess is no. I think if you pay, do you have to pay taxes on base? If you go to the Taco Bell on base, do you have to pay taxes? Or the Chili's or something? If you do, then that kind of is an indicator. They have U.S. supermarkets on base. I've always wanted to go on base. I've been on the naval base once or twice for Friendship Day. I've been invited a few times, but the dates just never worked out. Going on a U.S. base is like going to America, man. It's like, wow, look at all the stuff they got. Big steaks. Costco's here, so it's not as much necessary, but it's kind of cool. Packages to Switzerland. Scott told me that his last month's was delayed quite a bit. There's a lot of things going on with the postal services all around the world right now, but this news has hit real hard. This news hit real hard today when they told me about the suspensions from Japan Post, and it made me go like, what's going on here? So now I think we all kind of figured it out. Just be careful, do a little bit of homework, and know that you're gonna have to pay some duties and figure out what those duties are. I just like to say the word duty. I'll put a link to the press release if you're interested. What's the alternative to Japan Post? FedEx. No matter what service you use from Japan, it's up to the carrier to collect the duties. So, in a bag, hopefully leak proof. I'm like 12. So all these duty collectors, it's up to them. So that's just complicated. That's why DHL's like, we're gonna take a step back here and kind of figure out what's going on. Because they want to be in compliance with the law. We all do. We all do. And I get why the duties need to be collected. And I really hope that this goes to help in the USPS, because they need, these workers need some little bit of a bonus, in my opinion. I'm on their side. Shipping from Guam probably higher to start with. Yeah, you know, Guam takes, it was funny though, all of the items, they had to go from Japan to like San Francisco, then to Guam to collect tariffs and duties. I was like, why don't they just open up a tariff and duty place on Guam? But the government in general, and maybe they'll fix that, but the government in general is so inefficient in every country. It's not just the US, it's like everywhere. So in that sense, we really need to fix a lot of stuff, the mail in particular. So you could do FedEx, but if you're sending individual packages, you need a high threshold to send a lot of packages to make it work, or else DHL was like 3 times more than EMS, which is the Japan Post's fast sending. And I sent a package on the 21st. It arrived in New York already to David and Ellis. So David and Ellis received their package. I was tracking it. So we're all good. My son is stationed in Sasebo. I have no idea if he pays taxes on bases at eateries. I know, right? You would think that they wouldn't have taxes on the servicemen and women, right? That would not be fair, but I would not put it beyond the government to do something like that. I'm on the people's side. I think they should, U.S. postal workers are underpaid and overworked in many cases. But yeah, this is something that is hitting the news all over the world. It's not just here. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you have to say about this so I can address this in a future episode and get past the word along. We have a Discord server. If you have a boost, a nitro boost, we'd love to have your boost on our server. We certainly could use it. But we exchange this kind of information. So if you're sending packages home from Japan, this might impact it depending on what the value of the goods are. You might want to just carry it back or pay the extra $200 for an extra suitcase on the airline or something. That might pay off. Great. Take care, everybody. I'll see you in another live stream tomorrow. I'm going to be going to Chiba. I'm driving there to film an episode as a UPS truck just went by there. We don't see a lot of those in Japan. I'll be in Chiba tomorrow, so probably do a live stream somewhere in Chiba. I got to rent a car. It's going to be quite interesting, so maybe in the afternoon or the early morning. But until then, take care and stay cool, because it is freaking hot here. Mata ne. That's Tokyo Station. You got a live view of the Shinkansen up there, if you can see it with the reflection. Not quite sure.